So I'm out here watching where the water's going. I want to keep that slope, so I'll have to build the ground up there, have it run down, and right here, this would be great if I wanted the water to infiltrate right here. That dirt berm right there, as I'm following my finger, and then it goes to the other side of the car. Water's flowing down the driveway really gently, and that berm is preventing it from going over the hill and causing erosion. It's a gentle flow, and then when it gets to there, it spreads out and it soaks all the lower land down there. So that's exactly what I want it to do. And that took several tries of building that berm, shaping the driveway, to now it's pretty much where I want it to be. So this is my next area where I want to focus on. I want the water to come from the other side of the fence, and this dirt berm, I want it to act as a gutter. And you can't see it on film, but there's a big hole in the ground over here that I've dug. I want to put that as a cistern and have that water flow around and into there, and then when that gets full, the intake pipe is also the overflow pipe, and the water goes down and away, and possibly to irrigate all the crops I'll have over here. That's where firewood storage is going to go, so I'm digging a little spot out there. I'm taking a break from digging to start reading a little bit more of this book I picked up. I'm very excited about it. I've been hearing about this book for years. I've been following this person's work for a long time. Really excited to finally have my hands on their book and really let these principles sink in. It is, I'll just show you. This is the first edition of Brad Lancaster's book, Rainwater Harvesting for Drylands and Beyond. And I also picked up the second volume, but as I was reading this morning, I got to this spot right here where he's talking about the water flowing through a landscape, and you want to catch as much water as you can. But this is what really took me by surprise and changed something I've been thinking about, where the water falls and takes a straight path downhill to where it eventually ends up. This source to sink, I kind of knew this already, that you needed to zigzag it through the landscape, keep it there longer. But just this simple image, those are ponds or water catchments. Right now, I'm working on the water, for the most part, coming under the fence here and then shooting it down. You can see that hillside, and it's going to zigzag through the landscape, come down through this berm. The thing that kind of struck me was, yes, I'm zigzagging it through the landscape, but I'm not holding it at each turn. You know, like in the road, it's a hard surface runoff. It's not soaking in anywhere. So my efforts are for nothing, because if that water's not going into the ground, that's the biggest cistern that we have, is the living soil with plants and vegetation growing on it. That can hold way more water than any homemade cistern. So I'm going to show you at least one spot where I'm considering making a small hand-dug pond. So hopefully you can see the path that the water is taking, and then at this point I almost want it to follow this walking trail, and then it goes to the berm and goes down there, and down there I feel confident, once I have trees out of my nursery that I can plant out there, that spot's going to be really good for soaking in water and holding storm water. But here I want to have something where the water holds, like a seepage pond where it's not lined, because that culvert sends it on down the line. But also right here, see if I can back up and get a better shot. There's a really good opportunity. I have, to me, this wide open space. I'll need to be mindful of this tree. There'll be roots here, but it's a hillside, so maybe I can get some hay bales and build it up. Just something to keep water in this higher elevation, and it can be really small. I'll show you the other one that I've dug. So something like this right here, and the pond actually comes all the way to here, and then it's filled with gravel rock, and have some limbs in there just to retain the water. And it rained yesterday, so there's still water in here. So yeah, something about this size might be really nice. And that's something that I had, set that down.